Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Weekend Meetup. And today I'm down at Buzzy's Country Store, and we're just going to go ahead and kick off today's segment with the Critical Area Question of the Day by CarrieAnn Heinz.
Hello, my name is CarrieAnn Heinz, and I'm an environmental planner here at the county. Often we get asked lots of questions about, what can you do, what can't you do on your property? And these questions oftentimes come from people who've already purchased a piece of property and are then finding out what the limitations on that property are. What I like to recommend to people, and a service that we do offer here at the county, is if there is a particular piece of property you're interested in or you're very serious about, you may give one of the environmental planners here a call, let us know your property, the potential property address. And what we can do is we can look up and see if there are any constraining environmental features on the property, such as hydric or highly erodible soils, wetlands, or species of concern, such as FIDS habitat, which stands for Forest Interior Dwelling Species. I spoke about this recently just to give a little bit of background about what this means. So if you're interested in a piece of property, or if you have questions on your existing property, please feel free to give one of the environmental planners here at the county a call. It may take us a few days to get back with you, but if you leave us your property address, we can certainly pull up these features. Lately, our flood maps have been changing, a topic which I'm going to speak about in later weeks, and we have been offering to pull up people's flood zone designations for lots of individuals around the county. So this is something we do pretty routinely, in addition to our normal day-to-day permit approvals. So if you have any further questions, feel free to give one of the environmental planners here at the county a call. Until next time, thank you very much.
Thank you, CarrieAnn. And now we got Bill Hunt with an installment of Black-Eyed Susan.
In one of the March episodes of Weekend Meetup, we had a quiz to identify a flower associated with Maryland Day. The flower was the Black-Eyed Susan, the state flower of Maryland. Most viewers had the right answer, though few lost points because of spelling. The Black-Eyed Susan was selected by the General Assembly in 1918. Why? A partial answer is because of its color, yellow and black. Yellow and black are colors in the Calvert family coat of arms. In the March episode of Weekend Meetup, we also reported that the scientific name of the Black-Eyed Susan is Rudbeckia hirta. The plant was named by Carl Linnaeus. The genus name, Rudbeckia, was to honor the Rudbecks, father and son, who had helped Linnaeus begin his career. Hirta refers to the hairs on the stems. Now, what about the reason for the common name? Before getting to the question of how the flower got its common name, we need to find out the origin of the descriptive term Black-Eyed Susan. The record of Black-Eyed Susan appearing in print is traced to the poem Sweet William's Farewell to Black-Eyed Susan, written by John Gay and published in 1720. The story is that a young woman named Susan is crying because her lover, William, is aboard a ship and about to leave on a long and dangerous voyage. Her tears and grief have darkened the skin below her eyes. The poem begins like this. All in the downs the fleet is moored, the streamers waving in the wind, when Black-Eyed Susan came aboard. Oh, where shall I my true love find? Tell me, ye jovial sailors, tell me true, if my sweet William sails among the crew. William is actually on this ship, and he's in the rigging. He hears Susan, and he comes to her. The poet says he comes quick as lightning. In fact, he travels down the rope so rapidly that his hands are glowing from the friction when he reaches the deck. On the deck, he stands before Susan, and he says to her, "Oh, Susan, Susan, lovely dear, my vows shall ever true remain." And here, with grieving eyes and glowing hands, Weekend Meetup has to leave this couple. The poem will be completed in a future episode of Weekend Meetup.
All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed those two installments we had today. Next week, we got CarrieAnn Heinz and Hannah Pinkerton. They're going to do a whole show themed around ticks. And I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but it's very relevant to Southern Maryland this time of year. So I hope you tune in for that. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Weekend Meetup. For myself, Bill Hunt, CarrieAnn Heinz, and Hannah Pinkerton, I wish you nothing but the very best that life has to give.